Today is Wine Wednesday. We're spending an hour together sipping on beautiful wines from this gorgeous region, which is the Garden of France, and makes delicious things to drink and grows delicious things to eat. And we also bring friends to cook with us. We have an amazing friend of mine, renowned, award-winning, brilliant, gorgeous chef Michelle Geyer, who was a colleague of mine at Charlie Trotter's here in Chicago years ago, and then owned beautiful places called Salty Tart up north in Minnesota, and now hangs out with me on Wednesdays, which I kind of love this habit. We're going to make brioche with her, and we're also going to get started on this Rillions recipe. So we've been featuring 2 different wines from the Loire Valley every week. This week we're doing, as wine 1 at the top left, a beautiful Cremant de Loire, so a sparkling wine from Loire Valley. And if you bought it from Nolita Wine Merchants, you got the Chateau de Breze, and I know some other people have some other producers of Cremant de Loire out there because we have people from all over the world. We also have, for the red wine today, a Censer Rouge, which I'm super excited about. The Nolita Wine Merchants has one from Gérard Boulay called Rouge Oriane. I'm going to raise my Cremant de Loire glass, and I hope that you will all join me in toasting to this Wine Wednesday. Cheers, everyone. We're so glad to see you. We're so happy you're here. So Cremant de Loire, Evie, is made from what grapes?
It's primarily made from Chenin Blanc, Cabernet Franc, and Pinot Noir.
Exciting, because these are classic grapes that you find all across the Loire Valley. But you might be a little surprised because a lot of us drink a very famous sparkling wine that starts with a C and ends with an E, but is not Cremant Loire. And that one is traditionally made from the grapes that most people consider traditional for making sparkling wines. And those are Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. So this is a really interesting take on sparkling wine, and I think it's quite delicious. I think what's cool about Cremant Loire and the styles that we all have in our glasses from what I've seen is, like with that other sparkling wine that they make a little further north and a little further east, they let the wines spend a lot of time on the yeast cells, the lees, and that's where we get what they call a leesy, yeasty aroma. And it's actually kind of perfect that we're making brioche today, because pretty much every time I describe a really great sparkling wine, you pretty invariably say that you smell patisserie smells and you smell brioche.
But let's get to it, okay?
Let's do it.
Let everyone know that if you don't have high gluten flour, cake flour, you can use AP. Because I only have AP at my house. It may sound weird, I know I'm a pastry chef, but my kids do a lot of the baking, where I do all the baking at work. So I just have AP to keep it simple and straightforward. So you can take the amount of the 2 flours and just do AP. But Belinda, because she's an overachiever, she's got the 2 different kinds of flours, which is great.
I mean, Michelle, I called Instacart, and when you call Instacart, you just never know what you're gonna get. I mean, they actually brought what I ordered, so it's kind of exciting.
Okay, so in the mixer, we have the flour, the sugar, and the salt. So the next thing that we're gonna wanna do is bloom our yeast. So I have the milk that I've warmed up because we wanna activate it, but you don't wanna like boil your milk, you just want to scald it just to get it warm, okay? And then I have my yeast. I'm going to sprinkle on top of my warm milk just to get it activated. Whisk it around. So in my mixer with the hook attachment, I have my flour or my flours, my salt and my sugar, and now I have my yeast mixture with the milk. I'm going to pour that in, and I got my spatula out, right? Because
hey Michelle, do you ever add sugar to your yeast to get it going?
Sometimes I do, depending on how fast I want to get this done.
So like just a pinch if you're in a hurry?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a great way to activate it and make it bloom and go faster. So after I put my bloomed yeast that's in the milk, I added my 5 eggs. I've multiplied the recipe down 5 eggs. So it's gonna look real shaggy. All right, it's not all together. There's still dried bits in there. There's still wet bits. It's okay, right? Because now what we're gonna do is add all of this butter, and all this butter, room temperature butter, right?
Yeah.
So the magic of the brioche is that it's got all this fat, right? The fat from the egg yolks, the fat from the butter. But what you're gonna wanna do is, and I'll mute myself, but for like almost 10 minutes, you're gonna wanna mix this on medium to high, because what we wanna do is build up the gluten to hold all the fat, right?
So cool. Okay, I'm gonna let you blend and mute, and then I'm gonna talk about the second wine, because every week in these virtual hangs for Loire Valley wines, we have 2 featured wines. So the first one, as we said, was the Cremant, made from sort of surprising grapes. I have a different one than the rest. This is what I found here in Chicago. And then we have a red, of course. Oh girl, Danielle, we match. Yeah, this one's delicious. It's so good, right? Creamy, leesy, rich. I mean, it definitely has all the hallmarks of something that has a little bit of bottle age. What do you think?
Thanks to Benny's. It almost tastes like a demi-sec, like Lanson is one of my favorite.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, this is going to be so great with just like the brioche with a little butter, or everything else we're going to throw at it. I think it's going to be delicious too. Okay. So we also have a red for today. So I thought it would be super fun to do Censer Rouge. Mark Chi has the Oriane, which is another Censer Rouge. So Abby, tell us what we need to know about the rules of making Censer Rouge.
So I'm always surprised by like a red wine coming out of Sancerre, but it's actually 20% of their production. So it's quite a big chunk. And the farmers themselves drink it a lot at cellar temperature. So like a nice, like 52 degrees that they can enjoy while they're done finishing the crops. So I think sometimes like we don't think about red wine as being so refreshing, but because it's like a from this region, it has a really high acidity.
Yeah. So the Sancerre that we had last week is the one that you always think about, especially Stevens on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And I just know that like the gallons of Sancerre that are consumed there by the ladies who lunch and everyone else, you know, that's Sancerre Blanc, right? So that's Sancerre made from 100% Sauvignon Blanc. And what a lot of us think about when we think about classic, to your point, Michelle, classic styles of Sauvignon Blanc from Loire Valley. So the Rouge is, I think, sometimes a revolution and a revelation as well. So this is the red. It's made from Pinot Noir, because there were sort of like Burgundian precursors in the Loire Valley. So that's why we see a grape like Pinot Noir there. And I love it. For those who love really traditional and again, OG classic styles of Pinot Noir, this has bright high tones and all the juicy red fruits. It's not what you find in some other places that are a little too warm, in my opinion, for Pinot Noir, over extracted, dark. Like there's some Pinot Noirs out there that you might find that feel like a Syrah. They're so rich and dark, it just doesn't make sense. And the Pinot Noir grape should never do that. Pinot Noir is a pretty thin-skinned grape. It loves cooler climates. It's, as Jansen Robinson says, like a minx of a grape. It's a little difficult, challenging. Maybe someone's had a girlfriend or a boyfriend like that. Challenging. Pinot Noir is challenging, but when it's incredible, it's just incredible. So this one to me is really classic Pinot Noir. So raspberries, cherries, strawberries, all the bright red fruits, and then also this kind of bright, as I said, sort of high toned acidity, which a sommelier always knows you never say that at the table. Like you don't say, oh yeah, it's really, really acidic. You're gonna love it. No, we always say it's very bright and has bright, vibrant red fruits. I have something cooking behind me, so I'm gonna check on it in a minute. I'm pretty notorious for burning things. So I scoured all of Chicago. I know that you guys have incredible cheese shops. I mean, I wish I could have gone to Murray's today, but these are very traditional Loire Valley goat's milk cheeses. And I love Pinot Noir with these. And I also think the Cremant is really fun with these too. And I also, like, as much as I love dips for dinner, I also love just a cheese board for dinner too. All right, Michelle, what's happening now with the brioche?
I just want to give a little show. So it's been mixing on high while you've been talking. And the window pane, when I talk about this window pane, I just take a little bit out. And so what you want to be able to do is to be able to see through it without it ripping, right? So can you see that ripping at the top? It means it's not ready. The gluten hasn't built up enough strength and I need to keep going. And that's how you kind of know, but it's already kind of silky. It's already kind of smooth and dreamy. I wanted to show you what I've got going on here. So I scaled the brioche into 2-ounce balls. And now I'm gonna make like little brioche tarts. It's something that we sold at the Salty Tart every day. It's kind of a great vehicle for something savory, something sweet. It's a great vehicle for once around the cooler. Do you know what I mean? I got a little caramelized onions, I got a little cheese, I got a few little tomatoes. So that's what I'm gonna make right now. Wash the top of the brioche, and then what I'm gonna do is do some different savory fillings, right? So I'm gonna push down in the middle, gonna put some tomatoes in.
Is anyone getting like super uber hungry right now?
So then I have some brie, and I'm just gonna put the brie on top of the tomatoes, push it down. So it almost makes like a little tart, right? The brioche is the tart shell, okay? And then these tomatoes are gonna bake in. And then I also have some spinach and cheese.
Yum.
And that's gonna be real nice.
So Michelle, you did the dough, we did the thing, we added the butter, it rested for an hour, and then
now they're going in the oven. You're turn this sheet pan the other way. Yep. They're going in the oven now, so I'm hoping that you'll be able to see them. I also did a lovely braid where I did 8 ounces of dough and like made this beautiful braid. So once the beautiful pane, right? We're gonna let it proof one time. So it's gonna double in volume one time. Then we're gonna punch it down and then you can use it. Then it's ready to go.
So it's one of those recipes, like you should make a full recipe because there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it, right? Like,
right, and you should make it the day before, right? It's a great for, I love a day before, right? For the party, for the people, for the things. It's a great recipe to do the day before, and it's so much easier to handle when it's cold because, as you saw, there's so much butter in it.
I put a second recipe up for today, and that is for Rillions because we wanted to do bread and we wanted to do cheese. And I've got some cubes of pork belly that have been salted and also quatre épices. So I'm gonna put those into my pan because to the question about what you should have with Pinot Noir and Censer Rouge, I think a little crunchy pork belly is definitely a really good idea. The Loire Valley is one of the classic regions for wines. If you love Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc with Vouvray, and all the beautiful wines, Sauvignon, that are made in that part of the Loire Valley. If you really love Muscadet, Melon de Bourgogne, there's such an amazing range of styles available from this particular region. It's also, thanks Evie, we love that Beaumard. It's also one of the most beautiful places on earth. I mean, filled with castles and the ghosts of royals past and maybe present when we go. And I think it's a really beautiful place to visit. So, I love these classic regions. I love the Loire Valley because these wines are so consistent. So what I was going to speak to is there are a lot of us who buy clothes because of labels. We maybe go to restaurants because we know the chefs like Michelle, but we also should be looking at labels when we're looking at wines. And there's a couple things to look at a label of wine. And one is the importer. You can fall in love with a specific importer and fall in love with their taste. So there are a couple importers who import Loire and other regions of the world who I really love. And then the other one is to know that when you buy a wine that has Loire on the designation, you're going to get something that's really quite regulated and quite delicious.
These are the brioche tarts from the oven, y'all.
They look so good.
Delicious and hot and bubbly, cheesy with I did brie and tomato, and then this is goat cheese and spinach.
We love spending this time with you, and we love that you're here to, connect, hopefully get a little bit of comfort from being here with us. I really wish that I could send through smell-o-vision these amazing smells of the brown spices that you can also find in wines. And, it's just, we love hanging with you. That's it. So we'll be back here next Wednesday, same time, same place, same meeting number. And we'd love to see you again.
Check your pork belly.
Michelle, check. Okay, I'm going to check my pork belly.